Armen Levack, 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. For live from Saratoga Strike Zone. Come see us at 6:45. We're giving away a trip to the Super Bowl. Joining us now live on the Sapone phone is Seth Appert, head coach of RPI hockey program. Coach Appert, how you doing?
I'm good, Armen. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Super Bowl trip would be pretty sweet, huh? Have you ever been to the big game? You ever been out to the Super Bowl?
I have not. It's not a good time of year for a hockey coach, so
fair point.
Have not been able to enjoy that spectacle.
I will say that RPI Union, the rivalry, maybe not exactly on Super Bowl level, but I did go to the RPI Union games. I went to to Union's barn and saw you guys finish off the sweep on the weekend. And we've talked about it a lot before on the station. Just the electricity in that building that weekend. How big was it for you guys to beat Union twice the way that you did in those two games a couple weeks ago?
Well, first of all, it's just a great rivalry, and it's a real fortune to be part of it. A rivalry of that magnitude, of that level of hatred, and they've had the upper hand on us in the last 4 years, and they're the national champions. So yeah, that was big to beat them in our building on Friday, and then to carry it over on Saturday, and in a really good game and a great building to play college hockey over there at Mesa Rink. I really enjoy the atmosphere over there, and so that was big. And that was a real good point for us in starting league play, and now it's something that we want to keep building off of here into the second half of the season.
I hear you. Seth Appert with RPI Hockey on 104.5 The Team with Armen and Levack. Levack's out today. Joe B filling in. And Seth, you told Levack and I a couple months back that the first part of the season, you guys were going to grow and develop, and you knew that there was going to be a little bit of a learning curve here. You guys are 6-11-1 overall. In 2 minutes, I want to get to this weekend is gigantic for your program and for the Capital Region. But before we get to that, you're currently in a 4-game losing streak, and the Knicks are in a 10-game losing streak, and we're hearing all the players, they're calling the names and the cursing, and you find when you lose, you find different things, little things to blame on other people. How do you keep your guys mentally focused on the right track when you struggle a little bit during the season?
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard, and I think you got to really get your guys. I think a lot of times you set that up in advance, and getting your guys early in the season to understand that it's a process, and that you're not going to win a championship in October or November, and that we have to come to the rink every day and keep getting better. And that's what I've been preaching to this team. And I think I probably didn't do a good enough job of that last year because of our expectations were so high. And that's been a real emphasis all year, is that we need to keep getting better. We want to be a great team come mid-January. That's been our goal. I really like our team. I think a lot of the issues we're having and consistency of wins is due to injuries. We just haven't had our lineup. We've had our full lineup in for about 2.5 games all year. We had about half the first game of the season against Notre Dame when we beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame. And then we lost Milos Bubella. And then we had the Union series where we played very good, where we had our full lineup. And then about a period against Harvard before Luke Karate and Chris Bradley got hurt. So we've had a crazy amount of injuries to some really key players for us. We got our 2 leading scorers are out right now. We've missed Zach Schrader, Louis Nanny, Drew Melanson, Matt Neal, Milos Bubella, Chris Bradley, Luke Karate. These are key guys for us. Have all missed 2 to 6, 7 games. And then most importantly, Jason Kasdorf has been out these last 4 games. And I think that, I think Jason's record in his 3 years here is like 25 or 26-13, and the other times that he's been injured, like last season and this year right now, that we've been under 500 without him. So when you lose a goalie of that caliber, he's the best goalie in the country in my opinion. It's been a grind. So the good thing about it though is that a lot of guys have gotten to play in some really key roles, and we've gained a lot of experience and gotten a lot of guys key minutes that maybe wouldn't have gotten those minutes, and it's going to make us a stronger team in January.
Well, hey, it's no big deal. It's not like you guys are playing the number 2 team in the country, a team that went to the Frozen Four last year, and Boston BU coming into town this weekend at RPI. Coach, this is a big one, and you and I have talked about it a couple times on the phone this week about just the amount of talent. You guys, RPI, you have a lot of future NHL prospects, professional guys that can play in the league on your team, and then Boston even more so. The amount of talent that's going to be on the ice in the Capital Region at your home barn on Saturday night is just incredible.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's to play programs like that, and we certainly have 5 to 7 guys with the potential of signing NHL contracts and playing in the NHL in our club, and then they probably have more like 8 to 10, and at the top of that list is Jack Eichel. I don't praise the other team all that much. I certainly respect our opponents always, but this young man is as good as I've seen. In my years of recruiting, I think I've been on the road recruiting for about 18 years, and he's arguably the best American player I've seen in those 18 years.
Wow.
Probably, in my opinion, at this age, as good or better than like a Patrick Kane, than Ryan Suter, Seth Jones, some real elite American players in the National Hockey League. And he's going to be the number 1 or number 2 pick in the NHL draft this year, and he'll be playing in the NHL at this time next year. And he's just a real treat. He's a great kid, comes from a great family. He leads all of NCAA scoring as a young freshman. And the fans coming to watch not only are going to get to see our team play our tails off and try to beat a really good BU team, but also going to see one of the best American players in the last 15 to 20 years.
Oh, that's awesome. So what do you do, Coach? Coach Seth Appert of RPI Hockey with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team. Boston University will be at RPI this weekend. Go check it. The game's going to be incredible. Jack Eichel, the best talent in the country, will be on the ice. Coach, how do you prepare? How do you defend a guy like that? I mean, the answer isn't as simple as going, put 2 guys on him, right? I mean, how do you slow down a Jack Eichel?
It's interesting. It's a little different in hockey than it is, say, in basketball. Say if you had a Kobe Bryant or LeBron James coming in, and they're on the court the whole game. And so it's harder in hockey because of the line changes. You have to have a real good bench management and awareness of when he's going to come on the ice, because we have guys that we want to play against him. And I think that it's really important to keep our matchups. We have a checking line, a line that's a big, physical, good skating line. We have defensemen like Curtis Leonard, who are potential NHL player as well, that we want to try to keep against him as much as possible. But because of the rotation of lines, sometimes that is a little trickier in our sport. And so we're going to make sure we do a good job of playing the body on him, trying to take away his time and space, limiting his ability to get out and get skating, because he is an absolutely exceptional skater. And eliminate his rush chances, and then try to keep our matchups. Now, the good thing in hockey is when you have home ice, you get the last change. So anytime they put him out there on a whistle, on a face-off, that's easy. We get the matchup that we want to have. What sometimes is a little more difficult is during the course of play of making sure we're keeping the matchups necessary to try to eliminate him.
Go see RPI play this weekend versus Boston University on the RPI campus. And Coach, it's a really cool game for you guys as well, because you're going to have the canned food drive, teddy bear toss to benefit Toys for Tots. So bring your canned foods, bring your toys. This is the time of season where we can give back, Coach. And this is why, people like you and myself, we're in a position where we can give back to the community. This time of year is where obviously we harp on that the most, but the Capital Region has an opportunity this weekend not only to see some great talent in both RPI and Boston, see an incredible environment, but also give back during a time of the season where that's what it's about.
It really is. It's it's a great event, and anytime we can partner with our local community and help, whether it's underprivileged kids or homeless or the hungry or whatever that is, those are important things to be part of, and you want to be part of the bigger picture, and this is an opportunity to do that. And so we're excited to partner with our partners in sponsoring these types of events. I think the teddy bear toss is always a great event at hockey games, to see teddy bears come littering onto the ice at the end of the first period. And it's great to be able to help out the local community that supports us so much.
Coach Seth Appert with Armen Levack, RPI hockey coach. Hey, Coach, I know you're a big baseball guy. A lot of people don't know this. We've been watching the Hot Stove. You're a Minnesota Twins guy, and the Twins bringing back Torii Hunter. What have you thought so far about the Twins offseason?
You know, I'm a huge Twins fan, and they won 2 World Series when they had guys like Ken Herbeck and Kirby Puckett, who are my childhood idols. And I loved Torii Hunter. I wonder if this signing is a little more of nostalgia than actually trying to win baseball games right now. But I think that the Twins have been a model organization for a couple decades in terms of a mid-market team, and they've struggled in their draft in maybe the last 5 or 10 years, and that's probably hurt a little bit. But I'm certainly always going to be a Twins fan, and to get a fan favorite and a really great player like Torii back, even if it is a little nostalgia's sake, I'll take that every day.
Houston Fieldhouse this weekend, RPI versus Boston. And you know what, Coach? I got to tell you, I was at Union, at the Union RPI game, like I said, about a month back, and I had several RPI fans come up to me and go, dude, you're wearing a Union hat. You got no RPI garb. So, Coach, I'm not one to beg for stuff, but I just got to tell you, my favorite colors are red and black, and I got no problem repping RPI. So if you got any old stuff in the back of a closet anywhere, I'm all for it, baby. I'm all about representing the Engineers. I have no problem with that.
Armen, here's the deal for you. You
Okay.
come over and see a game in our building, and I will take care of it.
Sounds like a deal. I like that, Coach. Coach Seth Appert with Armen Levack on 104.5 The Team. I'm all in. Coach, good luck this weekend against Boston, 7 o'clock, Houston Fieldhouse. Go watch RPI. Have fun. Always enjoy you on the show, and please keep in touch with us, all right?
Thanks, Armen. I appreciate you having me on.